Bronco team and has really elevated them to get into this championship game.
Yeah, you're looking, Justin, is the story here. Franklin, with that record, you're going to say, how the heck they get here? They must have played a lot of weak teams to have 12 double-digit losses to the state. That's the story of how they got here. That, as Matt mentioned, 2-8 start at the beginning. They've gone through some personal adversary stuff that happened in the school and whatever. It's been a tough haul for Coach Robbie Cutchins, who I've known for a while. He's done a great job in this game. It's not even one of his more talented teams, but it's possibly his hardest working, his most together team. George Wythe puts numbers up. They put shots up. They come at you in waves. They have a sexy-looking record. They have a lot of what Franklin doesn't, but both are here, so it's going to be a heck of a story to see them have here. But you're right, Kamari Hicks is the big person for Franklin, and the young fellow from Reed Kurtner, 20 points a game, all-state performer for George Wythe.
A couple of those guys that we can look at as points. Another one I know that Matt wrote down for us and kind of leading into this one was defend the three for the Broncos. Got to play that good defense. Got to get this game lower scoring, give themselves a chance. You talk about George Wythe. You alluded to it, Matt, in the girls' game. The boys here, they want to run. These Maroon boys, they want to run. For them, big keys, box out, spread the wealth, and as you said, alluded to in the girls' game, push the pace.
This game is all about tempo. Franklin wants to play in the half court. George Wythe wants to get up and down and get this in the 70s. A game in the 40s or 50s, that's a Franklin advantage.
We'll see how this one shakes out. We'll take a second to break here for the national anthem. On the other side, we'll look at the starters for both the Franklin Broncos and the George Wythe Maroons. You're watching NFHS Championship coverage of the VHSL Boys Basketball Championships. Here's the PA for our anthem.
The Maroons of George Wythe High School against the Broncos of Franklin High School. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask everybody to please rise in our honor with the playing of our national anthem.
Head to their respective benches. They will start to introduce the starters, and we'll look first at the George Wythe Maroons. Again, head coach Tony Dunford, a 25-4 record coming into this one. They will go top to bottom, starting with number 1, Trayvon Rainey, a guard, the 5'11 senior. He's followed number 2, Shane Huff, also a guard, listed 5'9, another senior. Braden Rainey, a forward at 6'2". He wears number 3, another senior starter. Reed Kurtner, as Coach alluded to in the pregame, wears number 4. He's a 6'1 forward, another senior. 4 senior starters here for the Maroons of GW. And number 10, David Good, the lone junior underclassman, 5'11 guard there for the George Wythe Maroons.
31 points for David Good in the state semis, but like Ed said, Justin, Reed Kurtner, he had 23 points in that state semifinal. Between them, 161 made threes, so Franklin has to defend those guys from long distance.
Yeah, they certainly want to push the ball, and they want to try to score due the Maroons of George Wythe. And we'll take a look over at the Franklin Broncos, head coach Bobby Cutchins, a 17-12 record, as we said. No state championships for the Broncos, so looking to add some hardware to the case back there in Franklin, Virginia. They'll go number 2, Travis Mabry, a 5'8 senior guard. Number 4, Christian Grant, a 5'9" senior guard. Altavis Turner, number 5, a 5'10" senior guard as well. 4 seniors again for Franklin as well. Then the lone junior, Demorion Smith, number 11, a 5'11" forward. And then senior Kamari Hicks, number 23, 6'5". And Coach talked about it, you talked about it, Matt. He is the straw that stirs the drink.
He's the heartbeat. And how about this? Not only averaging 11.9 points and 7.3 rebounds per game, his dad, El Gondo, was a track student at Norfolk State and played hoops at Franklin. So he's representing the whole Hicks family today for Franklin, trying to win a championship for the first time ever. You get to the final in 1993, you get back here 32 years later. This is really a Cinderella story, but they're here, now they're 32 minutes away.
And as you talked about it, they got to figure out a way to lock down and keep this Wythe team from running up and down the floor. You said that Franklin wants to keep it in the 40s or 50s. And Coach, you know as well as anybody, if you got a team that runs, you can slow it down, but you got to play sound defense and limit the possessions.
Right, Franklin's an opportunistic type running team. If it's there, they'll go with it. They're not going to just walk it up the floor per se all the time. Wythe wants the tempo going. Therefore, you'll probably see more turnovers on Wythe's part than Franklin, because they move the ball so quick, and you're going to get turnovers in that manner. They'll shoot threes. They're not a great rebounding team because they shoot a lot of threes, and most teams that shoot a lot of threes are not great rebounding teams. So don't think that they're poor in that category. It's just that they're going to shoot it, and then they're going to defend the heck out of it.
For Franklin, number 4, Christian Grant. Number 3, Braden Rainey. For Franklin, number 5, Altavis Turner. For Wythe, number 4, Reed Kirkland. For Franklin, number 11, Demorion Smith. And for Wythe, number 10, David.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
And we welcome you back to the Stuart C. Siegel Center on the campus of VCU in Richmond as we're ready for some basketball to get started here with the Coach Ed Young on Matt Hatfield as we are here at VCU ready for the Class 1 state championship. Franklin in the white unis, George Wythe in the maroon jerseys. This should be a fun one, Coach, as George Wythe is trying to win the championship for the first time since 2008. Maroons jumping it off with Braden Rainey and Franklin with Kamari Hicks. And we're underway as Justin Waddell rejoins us.
Woo, what a three ball there from the Maroons right off the bat.
They said we shoot three, so
they
why
did.
not the first shot? And the second
Good,
shot.
buries it.
Right out of the gate, George Wythe knocking it down from distance.
Now you see that pressure. Broncos able to get over half court, get into the middle of the court. Now some tough man-to-man defense from the Maroons. Nice take inside for two. Altavis Turner takes it to the rack for the Broncos.
Quarterback on the football team, guys who can also make some things happen off the bounce.
Good, he's going to look around to Huff for three.
It was just a couple years ago that Shane Huff led them in scoring in a loss to Lancaster in the state championship. 15 points. He's coming out ready to play in this one. There's that magnet marked out, bringing the basketball right to him. Yet again, only about a minute and change, and he did it.
I'm worried when he sits over here tonight. I'm going to need Coach Young to protect the equipment, as he said.
Give him a shield and some armor at this point.
Yeah, we're going to have to put a cage up and be real cagers.
Good with the basketball across the way. Kurtner back to Good, looking for the lob and puts it in. Reed Kurtner for 2. Doesn't get the dunk, but 2 points nonetheless.
Beautiful backdoor off that weak side pick. Caught Franklin on foot on the ground.
And fellas, we talked about Franklin's tough schedule. George Wythe beat a Class 6 Annandale this year and a Class 5 William Fleming, so they've seen stiff competition as well.
Jump ball, and it will stay with the Maroons of George Wythe, and the onslaught has begun. A minute and a half into this one. 8-2. They're 2 for 3 behind the arc. You said, Matt, they love to shoot the 3 and they want to try to pull the trigger. They're not afraid to shoot it.
Yeah, coming in 282 made three-pointers, 38.7% from long distance. Pretty remarkable.
Nice move by Grant, getting the ball across the timeline. Now into the corner. Tried to look under to Hicks. Through his arms. And here comes Good and the Maroons. Good 3-ball. Count it! And quickly, we got a timeout here by the Broncos. It is 11-2 Maroons. And I don't know how they could possibly bust more people in here from Whitfield, Coach, but it seems like even more have showed up for this late game.
Yeah, like I said, it's the small town schools that have the biggest crowds, the loudest crowds, which is neat to see. Wythe is doing a tremendous job working those threes, gentlemen. If you that last play, if you watch it, they had a screen set up on the weak side, not the ball side, for the shooter to already be there. When the ball reversed to him, he already had a given screen, shot it. Franklin did not get over the top, and that's what Robbie Kutch is going to talk about with his Franklin kids. Get over those screens, don't get buried on them.
Yeah, they take a full timeout, but you said it is 11-2. They got to find some way to stem the tide here. It's exactly what Wythe wanted to do, though. Push that tempo, 11 points in under 2 minutes. And when you hit 3 threes, it's real easy to get there.
Well, this is what Wythe's been doing all state playoff long. They did it against Chilhowie in the quarterfinals. They did it against Patrick Henry Glade Spring with their towering brother combination, the Kaywood brothers, Cole and Caden. 29 made threes in 2 state playoff games. As Ed knows, a lot of teams don't get 29 made threes in an entire postseason run.
Yeah, that's definitely high-end volume on shooting for threes.
Grant with the basketball. Across the timeline, being guarded by Good. Gets the basketball back now over to Mabry. Good hard take there by Turner, but it's knocked out of bounds. It will stay with the Broncos. The suffocating defense from George Wythe early on.
Yeah, Wythe's defense wants to take away the paint and Hicks. Don't let him get paint touches. Make someone else beat you from distance, because Franklin's three-point game can be a little hit or miss. It's not as consistent or as prolific.
And the idea, too, is a little nerves on Franklin's part. You know, and they're in the big atmosphere, first time. For the most part of the year, nobody expected to be here. And they're showing it with a little bit of shaky offense in terms of passing.
Kurtner stepped in front of that one. Nice take all the way down. Can't go. Rebound, Broncos. Nice look inside for 2 for DeMoran Smith. That's what Franklin's got to do, is maximize their possessions and settle themselves in here. 3-ball up top, no good. Tipped out. Broncos grab it and save it. Good job there by Smith. Gets it back to Mabry.
And DeMorion Smith's a guy that had multiple offensive rebounds for them in that state semifinal winner for Lancaster, the 2-time reigning champ, so he can get those hustle plays for them.
Into the corner, now back out around the top. Thought about the 3. Did Turner. Hicks trying to find an opening here, flashing multiple defenders. Man-to-man defense still from the Maroons.
Matt alluded to earlier, Justin, about the schedule Franklin's played. They have played teams that have pressured him. The pressure's not new to him.
Kurtner with a hard take. Foul's probably going to go against Smith on that one, but Kurtner took it right to the rack. A couple of subs coming into the game for the Maroons. 1 for the Broncos. It's like Holden Luttrell and Rex Delp set to check in. Can't tell the young man for the Broncos because he's sitting sideways to us.
You've got a very dangerous Ed Young next to you because he's got the touchpad at his leisure there, Justin. So my computer will be off in a new world in about 10 minutes at this point. He's like a kid in a candy store over there with that.
Kurtner's first free throw is good. 12-4 the score now.
I'm
in favor of the Maroons.
Actually afraid to touch his computer. I don't want to go to one of those sites he's on.
Second free throw is good. 13-4.
You're unbelievable. You know
You mean
that?
Virginia Preps?
Yeah, that's right. Give us a good plug. I appreciate it, Justin. Checks in the mail.
Nice hard take. Freshly into the game. Caden Bement just checked into the game and gets his first points. Kurtner with the take, the hoop in the arm. He's going to the line for a 3-point play.
They not only have shooters, they have slashers and drivers and handlers. All kinds of really quality basketball players.
I've been extremely impressed with the Maroons through 4 minutes of basketball.
They not only are they establishing the offensive tempo, they're really establishing defensively too. They're making it uncomfortable for Franklin, and they're rushing a little bit more than it should.
Yeah. Three ball, no good. Rebound Huff. Kurtner, three ball with the form.
It is raining threes at the Siegel Center. The way they're just spreading the floor, each wing, top of the key, they can shoot it from everywhere.
That is Lavarius Majette into the ball game. Three ball, count it for Christian Grant.
Huge answer. Keep an eye on Majette, guys, because he's coming off a 12-point effort in the state semis versus Lancaster. He's giving them a spark at times off the bench.
Kurtner again for three. Just like the old NBA Jam, he's on fire.
Yeah, get the fire extinguisher because right now, Easton White's made 93s on the year coming in.
Turner kicks it wing, three ball by Mabry, no good. Rebound by Good. He brings it up to Huff. Huff back. Thought it was Kurtner, but it wasn't. Good will fire a three, and he'll hit! It's 24-9.
This is incredible right now.
Yeah, they're on. There's no other word for it. Point-wise, they are on. There needs to be more ball pressure on the part of Franklin defense.
Majette slows it down back to Mabry. Now to Grant. Top of the key, looking for a pick from Hicks. Hicks turns, thought about the three. Majette will drive in, nice hard take, and he'll get the blocking foul. Majette, nice hard take. Defender was moving just slightly as he was trying to slide in front of him.
And that's what Robbie Cutchins is probably telling his guys at this point is, look, we've gotten their first punch, and it's been a knockout type of punch.
And it's a good point. You just have to be able to survive it. You still got the rest of the game to go. You know, so it's just calm down, run your offense, and then on the other end, defend. We know what they're doing. Now you got to try to stop it. Again, get up in their faces. Get in the passing lanes. Disruptive. Three-point shooters don't like to be bothered. Bother them.
First free throw was no good. Majette's second is good. It's 24-10. Still a couple minutes left in this opening quarter.
You know, introduce yourself to those three-point shooters right now and use that mantra of defend, rebound, and run. That's the principles.
Now they've gone out of the zone. They've gone man-to-man. That's step number one.
Foul on the three-point attempt. Micah Braxton Reddick launched it. He is a 6'5" senior, and he's fouled over in the corner. He'll go to the line for three.
I mentioned it in the girls game with Malik Johnson as an assistant, former George Wythe standout in the boys game here for Franklin. Of note, Adam Grant, who was a 1,000-point scorer at Norfolk Collegiate, played at Bryant University, was a standout there in the NEC. One of the coaches helping out Robbie Cutchins over there for Franklin High School. He's still got some game in his bag there, and I think right now he's probably thinking, man, I'd like to go out there and help them right now at this point.
Second free throw good.
Madam wanted Christian Grant on Franklin. Relationship with Adam,
I would imagine same last name. They've got to have
I'm gonna
brothers,
guess.
cousins, something of that nature. Yeah.
Yeah. Adam was a legend in the first few years over at Franklin.
Rebound from the Broncos. Looking up court, slowing it down is Majette. Being guarded by Good. Nice move. Broncos trying to slow it down. Get a good look here offensively. Under 2 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Nice take around. Finds the open man. 3 ball. Almost might have been tipped. Rebound, Braxton Reddick. Back come the Maroons. Happy to slow it down as we approach 1 minute. Nice backdoor cut from Good for 2.
That's a pretty play. That's that dribble at, reverse, backdoor it, perfect pass. Love that play.
Tony Dunford couldn't have asked for a better start to a state championship game than this. A lot better than a couple years ago when they were limited to about 40 points for the whole game. Here they are. They look up almost 30 in the first quarter alone.
And you guys talked about it a little bit. What you got to say if you're Coach Cutchins is, look, we've taken that shot. They're not going to make 90 or 80% threes for the whole game. You hope. So you just got to settle yourself down now, start to chip away. As you said, Coach, you got 3 full quarters left in this one. Make up a little bit of ground in each one, and you can find yourself right back in the ball game.
You just got to turn it up on defense and settle down on the offense.
Deep 3 behind the arc. Nice rebound, Majette. Going to take his defender, which is Kurtner. Kurtner gets his hand on it. It goes off Majette. It'll be back over to the Maroons.
The hustle plays there. It's just about execution, and the energy's not bad. They just have to get into their sets a little quicker and make things happen from that respect.
Final 40 seconds here in this opening quarter. Slowing it down, taking some time, Deshaun Thomas. Over to the corner, Kurtner, if he'd have caught, he was probably going to fire that one. He'll pop from about 13, a little far off the rim. Nice block inside by Turner. It'll stay with George Wythe. Just under 6 seconds to go. Right inside, a foul is going to be called on Turner. That was Holden Luttrell getting the basketball on the inbound. He'll go to the line for 2.
Of course, I was figured is that they're a great three-point shooting team. They have to be a great foul shooting team, and they are. They're 74% from the free throw line.
First one is good, 28-10.
And there'll be no foul line jinx that like Matt Hatfield has when he talks about free throw shooting, because my man number 5 going to hit this free throw right on the spot.
Oh,
watch this.
I thought you were waiting for the first.
There you go, Coach.
I'm automatic, baby.
Final 5 seconds, 29-10. Broncos trying to push. They're going to get a look at the buzzer. Won't go, just off the rim. That's how the first quarter will end. 29 points from the Maroons in the opening 8 minutes to just 10 for the Broncos. We'll take a quick break, come back with the second quarter right here on the NFHS Network right after this.
With a rich history spanning nearly 100...
It's back. 29-10 after 1, getting set to start the second quarter. And we've talked about it, that the Maroons came out, I mean, they were on fire from the field, and we'll get the first quarter stats here shortly, and I'm sure Coach will digest them and then give us that information. But I mean, I don't think they missed but maybe 2 or 3 threes in that first quarter, but they were certainly hoisting them up.
But see, their mentality is not what we missed, it's what we make, because that's what they do. And a great shooter never thinks about the last one missed. It's when am I going to make that next shot?
Inbound by the Maroons. Kurtner for 3, top of the arc, no good. tapped around. He'll get the basketball back. Nice drive, looks out to Good. Extra pass, back to Kurtner for three. No, short. Rebound coming up the court is Grant. He'll get it out to Majette. Inside to Hicks. Didn't hear a lot of him, and there's why. Turnover by Shane Huff. He's going to push the pace forward. Slips down, but gets the basketball back. Good take inside. Hicks with the steal, comes up with it. Now the Broncos. Hard take inside. It'll be a charge. Good did his job there, standing his ground, taking the charge. And it's back over to the Maroons.
Gentlemen, first quarter, George Wythe, 6 of 8 from the three-point line, 75%, 64 overall, 9 of 14. Franklin, 4 of 10 from the field, including 1 of 6 from 3. They got to fix that.
Did you say 6 of 8 from long distance in the first quarter?
Yes.
6 of 8 three-point line.
Take by Kurtner. Kurtner with 12 in the first quarter. Now got 14 in the ball game out of 31. Hot start, to say the least, for the Maroon senior. That's tapped, kept inbounds. Great job there, Turner, to keep the basketball inbounds. Majette has it. He goes up off the backboard. No. Hicks with the rebound. Puts back. No. Hicks again. This time it'll go. 31-12 with the foul.
Workmanlike is the word, guys. I mean, he's workmanlike there in that low block lane area.
No, he's their key on offense. He's their key on rebounding. He blocks some shots. He just got to get himself going too. But notice when he posts up, there's a guy and a half on him. When he catches it, automatically 2 people on him. They know.
Hicks makes the free throw. It's 31-13. Couple minutes going by in this second quarter. Basketball moved around. Good will take it. Top of the key. 3-ball straight on. No good. Rebound Grant. Trying to get it ahead, but Good with the steal. He's going to be pushed down by Demorion Smith for the personal foul. And it'll turn it over.
One thing about Wythe, I'm noticing on offense, yeah, they like to shoot the three. And I can see why they're not such a great rebounding team, because they get back so quick on defense too. And it looked like the guy from Franklin was wide open, but in the end, Wythe's right there to get a steal.
Good with a hard take, won't go, but another foul called against the Broncos. I think that's going to be on Hicks. Second foul on Hicks.
That's not good. They need him in the ball game. It is his second foul. He had 1 in the first quarter. Again, George Wythe, like their girls team, they do rotate a lot of people in and out. They got 9 guys playing double-figure minutes. Franklin is not as deep, so to say, as Wythe is.
Good's first free throw is good. Coach Cutchins, no move on the bench to sub Hicks out, so we'll keep an eye on that. Trusting the young man to stay smart down the stretch here in this end of the first half. Grant with the basketball being pressured. He's going to get it over to Turner. Nice take, tapped away. Here come the Maroons. Good, over to Rainey. Hard take in the foul. Looks like it's going against Turner. That was against Grant, number 4.
You know, Franklin's had more trouble, guys, I think, in transition defensively than they've had all year long as far as getting back into some of these opportunities that Wythe has established. But even more than that, they need that other weapon in the guard spot to help out Kamari Hicks, because it feels like he's having to do so much heavy lifting that he could be just gassed by the time the third, fourth quarter comes.
Yeah, we said that in the last game with the Buffalo Gap ladies were playing George Wythe. Buffalo Gap was basically two people scoring. They did more. They needed much more help. In the end, it ended up that was their downfall. Same thing with Franklin.
Rainey's second attempt is good. 34-13. Just over 5 minutes to go in the first half. A half that has been all Maroons. Turner with the basketball through the double team. To Grant, being guarded by Good, out top. Hicks flash for a pick. To the corner for Turner, no good. Hicks takes it up strong, and he'll get the foul call. Almost couldn't hear the whistle over the George Wythe crowd.
And the Franklin crowd. Franklin crowd has not had a whole lot to cheer for right now, but they are helping the officials as much as possible. I can hear them through my earset.
Trying to cut the lead inside of 20. If he can make both of these for Hicks. First free throw. Rattles around.
Now, you said you could hear the crowd through your headset. Did you hear him when you were coaching much, or were you able to block him out enough?
No, you pretty much, for some reason in coaching, you could block everything out, but I can hear the officials, and I made sure they heard me.
So he didn't hear those guys saying sweat, Ed, sweat, Justin.
Right.
He ignored them. All those hecklers.
My hecklers, I love them.
Second free throw good. Back to a 20-point lead for the Maroons.
You love them, but do they love you is the question.
I think they do.
Kurtner. Nice move. Partially blocked, though. Foul's called.
Oh, and a technical.
Wow. It's going to be on the bench reacting, and we talked about it in the first game. Only the head coach allowed to be standing. A little bit too much reaction from the Franklin bench and assistant coaches there.
The assistant coach got banged with the tee, not the head coach.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It was the assistant coach who jumped up, and he's kind of pleaded his case to Coach Cutchins, and he's like, hey, got to calm down here.
And I'm going to say this in defense of the coaches. That tee was not needed, wasn't warranted. You could have warned him. You could have told the head coach the next time, and then do it. It's just emotional. Franklin is down right now. It's frustrating, not only for players, but for the coaches. And I'm not saying the official is wrong. It's within his duties to do that. But I would have let that go. If I'm officiating, I would let it go.
But guys, we've talked about that all day long, that these state championship games, it can sometimes bring out the best and worst in people. The emotions do run high.
Yeah, they do.
It just happens. So I'm with you. I don't know that it was warranted, Ed, but it felt like, when it's getting away like this, it also can have a positive effect for Franklin. Maybe gets them supercharged to get back in this thing. But the problem is, like you said, George Wythe is shooting what from the free throw line? 70-something%. That's
74%, and you're just giving them 2 more extra shots.
Hard to deal with that.
Rainey made 2, Kurtner made 2, and it's now a 38-14 lead. Just over 4.5 to go in the half.
Tony Dunford hasn't had to break a sweat in this game. I mean, he's just watching his guys hit threes galore. He's got the hair slicked back. Didn't have to borrow any of my Brill cream, by the way, Ed. You like that?
What's that?
Didn't have to borrow any of my Brill cream.
No, I don't want
dapper.
No.
Dunford didn't have to borrow any. But I'll tell you what, a little dabble three with that three-point shot. They just keep raining threes from everywhere.
Kurtner cannot miss. I think he's up to 20 or either 19 or 20 already in the first half.
Scorching the Nets.
Just running at a different level, or is this Maroon squad? Kurtner thought about it. Now he'll pull it. 3 ball. Oh, it wouldn't go. He was celebrating. Rebound Maroons. Nice hard take. Hicks went for the block. Couldn't get it. Rebound comes to Majette. He's going to push it over. Gets it back to Grant. Hicks trying to body inside. Good matchup going on inside. Grant pulls, shoots, no good. Hicks going to get over the back
number
ball.
3. I saw that coming.
That is the third on Kamari Hicks.
Yeah, he's a little frustrated out there. He had posted up, didn't get the ball inside. He kind of stopped, got banged by the defensive guy, didn't like it, missed the rebound, came down on top. You could see that coming.
That's the 5th foul, so we'll go to the line to shoot 2. is Braden Rainey.
Sometimes coaches will go with a player will take a player out with 2 fouls and a half. Some go with the 3. You know, Robbie Cutchin Franklin decided to go with the 3. Now he's got to take him out. Free throw, good.
Hicks is going to check out of the ball game. Davion Person checks into the ball game for the first time. Rex Delp back in for the Maroons.
Wythe is just putting on a clink in this first half, guys. I mean, they really feel
5-second penalty again, a 5-second call against Franklin.
No, it's foul. Foul.
I'm sorry.
Foul number 5 for George Wythe.
But you know what? I think Holden Luttrell thought what you did, Justin. He thought it was a 5-second count.
Grant with the take and the count it. Basket's good. And he'll go to the line for a chance for a 3-point play.
Number 5, Holden Luttrell. A second, team 4.
Just over 3.5 minutes left to go here in the first half. 43-16. Your score. 43-17 after the make.
What a confidence booster it is for Christian Great to see the ball go through the net. But right now, this George Wythe team, not just the threes, but even getting plays from the Rainies, Braden and Trevon. They're making all these hustle plays that might not show up in the stat sheet. They do the intangibles for Coach Tony Dunford's squad.
Huff with the drive and the pop. You talked about it, Matt. If the Maroons could get this thing up into the 60s and 70s, well, they are on pace to well exceed that, even slowing down. They're heading for the 70s real quick.
Very tough to beat in that style of game for Class 1 opponents.
Turner over to Person, back to Turner. Grant trying to get the basketball. He does. Being guarded by Luttrell. Majette now top of the key. He'll pop from 19, no good. Rebound, George Wythe.
Franklin just having a hard time establishing anything on the offensive end. With Hicks out now, they have no inside presence, outside shooting.
3-ball, Delp, no good, won't go. Nice, Kurtner with the cut, the back door. Timeout here from the Broncos. It is 47-17. It is a 30-point lead. It has ballooned. It's a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here with just a couple minutes left before half. But
yeah, again, we're talking to 3-pointers, and we expect them to come down and shoot threes. And Franklin is kind of getting caught flat-footed because on ball reversal, they're going back door, and a beautiful pass inside.
2:24 to go in the first half, 47-17. We talked about how well George Wythe has played in this ball game, and we'll look at the stats at halftime, but you said, shooting over 70%, ballooned to a 30-point lead. And they seem well on their way to pulling off the double here for Class 1. That is the girls and the boys title.
Yeah, Wythe right now, they've lost the last couple of chances in this big moment against Radford and Lancaster, 2017, 2023. They've been really thinking about this day for an awful long time, and this is a senior-heavy group.
3-ball from the corner, no good. Rebound, Kurtner racing out on the break. Oh, he's going to
like a tackle.
A lot of contact.
That was a tackle by number 11.
There's some bump and run defense there.
The Jet bringing it up hard.
Put him at strong safety, huh?
That was hard contact there.
Fellas, being a single-A school, a lot of the athletes do play multiple sports. So I've imagined, as Matt alluded earlier, we have some football kids out here.
Well, you remember it from your days. You coached, was it Suffolk High to a Class A state championship in 1987?
Yes, we did. And we had a few play football. Not a lot. We had a few play football. Our interior guys were football players. Okay. Our guards were not. They were basketball, and we were one of those up and down, shoot it long distance games.
How about that? You're coming up on the 40-year anniversary of that. Can you believe that?
That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. That team was special. Averaged 92 points a game.
Tony Smith was your lead guy, right?
33 points a game. He led the state in scoring that year. And that was, by the way, no three-pointer.
I think he's in the Pfeiffer Hall of Fame, if I'm not mistaken. And I tell you what, George Wythe's got a guy in Reed Kurtner. I think one day he might be going to the George Wythe Hall of Fame the way he's playing.
Yeah, that youngster can shoot it, and he's playing some pretty good defense too.
Does breaking the pressure. Kurtner thought about it. He'll give it up though to Luttrell.
Playing
Back
a really
to
smart
Kurtner.
floor game though. He is.
Yeah. Very headsy all over the court. Kurtner's got it. There we talk about it. There's the take. Hard underneath. He's going to get the foul called. And I like what Majette did there. Oh, it was actually going to be on number 5. Because Majette took the brunt of that one. I was going to say it looked like he was a little too far under the hoop. But instead, they get the foul on Altavis Turner.
Yeah, foul before the crash.
Foul's really starting to rack up here for Franklin.
And again, they very rarely miss from that free throw line. So that's not a way. Sometimes you foul team because it's a good way of getting the ball there. A bad foul shooting team, and it stopped the clock. You could get yourself back in the game. That strategy won't work with this team because they can hit him.
Well, and Franklin ran into a buzzsaw. We haven't seen a team all week shoot 6 of 8 from long distance in the first quarter. I mean, we saw the struggles those first 2 games, Justin, with the PA girls against William Fleming and also the Green Run boys against Albemarle. Albemarle didn't make a 3 in PA, and Fleming didn't hit one the whole first half.
There's going to be an offensive foul against Franklin there. That's going against Grant on the hard take. The Franklin faithful are not happy across the way.
They thought that the young fellow had moved his foot on defense. It would be a blocking charge, but apparently he had established his position. You can move in established position. You just can't go into the defender.
Kurtner with the basketball outside the VCU logo. Pulls it back, slowing it down. We approach 1 minute in the first half. 29-point lead for the Maroons. Kurtner takes the basketball. Back to Delp. Swings it around to Thomas. Inside to Delp. He's going to be undercut. And that's going to be a foul against Demorion Smith.
Wow, he's got 3 fouls now, too.
And, Coach, I don't think the Broncos need the halftime break any more than anybody inside this building right now. I think at this point, if you're Coach Cutchins, you want to get off the court. And I say it, you want to get off the court because you want to find a way to settle your young guns down. Settle these kids down.
We're talking about the barrage of threes by Wythe. How about the barrage of dunks by John Marshall yesterday? And we said, well, what can Graham do to stay in this game? If they're playing hard and everything, but you're playing against a bunch of 6-7 athletes. Franklin has to do the same thing. Maybe is regroup it and say, look, we just got to play our game. We're down 30 points. We got to play our game. And if we go down the way we got here.
Free throw from Delp. No good. A 30-point lead, just under a minute to go. 49-19 our score.
That's so
hard
true.
take by Majette. He'll get fouled by Delp, and he'll go to the line for 2.
You can't curl up in a ball and just say that's it. I mean, you have to keep fighting, which I think this Broncos team, that's the DNA of Robbie Cutchins and his program, and Christian Grant getting a breather right now. And they're looking for somebody to just give them that jolt. We talked about it in the last game, Justin. Who's going to be that spark plug player? Somebody they can make. You're not going to make up 30 points in a minute here. You got to have little small segments. You take 4 to 6 points in this run, and then get up like a 12 to 6 run or a 14 to 8 run. Make some small steps before you can be back in it.
Right. We used to tell our guys, you got to win the possession. Let's just concentrate on this possession and stop worrying about, well, we got to make up 20 points or 30 points. There's no 20, 30-point shot in basketball.
Yeah, it's one of the things, and Coach, you alluded to it earlier, that Franklin has been sped up by this George Wythe team. I watched it a couple weeks ago in the state quarters when Patriot played Lansdowne, and Patriot had no answer for what Lansdowne was doing, sped them up to where they were just making the mental mistakes, and they really expounded on that. And that's what we have Franklin. That's why I said I think they need to get into the break so they can just have a moment, not in the crowd, not in the moment, to take a breath, say, all right, let's play Franklin basketball for the last 16 minutes.
Yeah, they're frustrated because they're not scoring. They're frustrated because defense not working. They're frustrated because they're in foul trouble.
Take no good. Rebound inside. Still won't go. Basketball rebounded by Delp. Out to Kurtner. Back around to Thomas. Kurtner slowing it down. Final 5 seconds. He's probably going to take this from 3. He does. He hits!
Oh!
52-20, and Reed Kurtner cannot miss. Cannot miss. It is 52-20 at the halftime break. Take a couple seconds here, take a break. We'll come back just before the start of the third quarter. You're watching championship basketball on the NFHS Network. at the half, 52-20 in favor of the George Wythe Maroons. And coaches poured over the stats as they came to us. And Coach, the one that jumps out to me, and I'll let you dig into it more, but the one that jumps out to me, just 1 turnover for the Maroons to 10 for the Broncos, and that is not even telling the entire story.
Yeah, and it's surprising because as much as Wythe runs and puts it up, you would think more turnovers because they're playing fast-paced, but they're not. Franklin has the 10 turnovers, a lot of those early in the game, and a lot of credit to nervousness, but the Wythe defense is in the way too. The shooting, you know, we talk about Wythe the three-pointers. They're 8 for 15, which is 53%. Overall, 14 of 29, which is 48%. We go down to Franklin. Overall, it's 31%, 6 of 19. And the three-point line, 1 for 8. Not good. Free throw line, 16-22 for Wythe. Franklin, 7 for 10. The problem is they're not creating enough offense to get fouled. Therefore, Wythe is making more free throws than Franklin is even taking. And the rebounding is pretty even, 17 up.
I just want to know, guys, if we're to do an all-tournament team and incorporate all the classifications, certainly on the girls' side, you'll have Micah Oja from Princess Anne and Emma McCamus from Central Wise. On the guys' side, you think of Cash Jackson from Green Run with the game winner, Latrell Allman from John Marshall last night. Are you putting Reed Kurtner on that team from George Wythe?
Oh, you have to. 25 in the first half?
He's outscoring them by himself.
5 rebounds, 2 assists, a couple other nice passes that didn't lead to a bucket, but they were very nice passes. His name's in the running. I don't care who you are, his name's in the running.
Here's the thing, guys, that if you all look across the way, and you guys can see it on the broadcast here, Franklin's not out of the locker room yet.
No.
We are under a minute to go before we start this third quarter. Franklin is yet to come out of the locker room. And one of the things, Coach, that jumps out for Franklin, they have 4 young men with 3 fouls each.
And they're going to have to go deeper in their bench. They only really basically played 7 guys in the first half. And Franklin is having a meeting right now in that locker room. There's a lot of heads probably down, and Coach Cutchin has got to tell them, hey, let's come out and do it.
And before you ask me, Coach Young, because I'm sure you're wondering about Kurtner next level, he picked up an offer from South Georgia back on February the 9th. So I'm sure his recruitment can continue to heat up if he stays hot like this.
I'm telling you right now, the Virginia Division 2 and 3 schools, especially 3, you better hurry up and get here. That kid is going to be even better at the next level. He's going to get stronger. He's a heady player. Some of you people need to wake up. Come out and get this kid.
He wants to be his agent right now. He's signing up.
There you go.
Money talks.
We get set to start the third quarter here.
Interesting to note. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Interesting to note. All 4 guys with the 3 fouls are on the floor right now for Franklin.
Go with what you know, but they got to play smart, headsy basketball. Grant with it out top of the key. Looking for a screen. He's over to Smith. Hicks flashes at the free throw line, and he'll miss it. Kurtner skies for the rebound. Over top the defender. Back come the Maroons. Trap over here on the wing. Getting out of it. Huff. Kurtner thought about it. Now he's going to take it this time. Missed that one. He got cold in the locker room. Here comes Mabry. Tipped away by Huff. But keep it with the Broncos. Grant will hit for 2. And there you go. It's the little things. You started this third quarter.
Well, and even if you can't come back and complete a memorable, magical comeback, leave it all on the floor in the second half so you can say that you put your heart and soul into it. And Shane Huff out here, one of those multi-sport athletes, a number of them for George Wythe, played quarterback on the football team.
Good 3 ball. That won't fall. Oh,
nice board there.
Rebound Mabry. Being guarded by Huff. Over to Turner. Back to Grant. Grant being guarded by Shane Huff. Kurtner now. Turner Hicks is posted up inside. Back to Turner. 3 ball is short off the rim. Hicks, though, with the rebound. Turner comes in. Shoulder down. Charge. They're going to get it. And I believe that's the 4th on Turner. He'll have to check out. With only 1 foul left to give in this one.
Well, in those foul issues, it's not a case where you want to go to your 8th, 9th, 10th player in your bench for long stretches. It's a state championship, not a regular season contest where you can experiment and do some mixing and matching.
Great job by Hicks there, getting his hand in the passing lane. It'll go out of bounds and stay with George Wythe, but Franklin just trying to settle down defensively. Out top to David Good, around to Huff. Good drives from the wing. He dishes inside. That'll be good for 2. That's Rainey.
You know, Braden Rainey and Trayvon Rainey, they don't get enough credit for what they do. Their scoring numbers may not be all that glossy, you know, each putting up about 6 to 7 points per game. They're not the Kurtner, Good, and Huffs of the world as far as outrageous numbers at times or prolific numbers, but they do so many things that go beyond the stat sheet for this Wythe team.
And I'm watching them. I try to watch certain players personally, and they're moving. They're all over the place. They're going for loose balls. They're well tuned into what Coach has them doing on this squad.
The Maroons bringing the pressure, but Grant able to get through it. Hicks can't come down with the rebound. It goes back to George Wythe. Kurtner spin move. Out to Good for 3!
My goodness, this Wythe team just spaces the floor so well.
Hicks doing a good job. Stolen away by Huff. He'll fire a 3, and it'll go.
Shooters have the touch and the roll, don't they?
They absolutely do. Guys, I'm watching Kurtner at 6'1", and he is absolutely impressing me with his ability to get off the floor.
Well, he's more of a combo guard. He's not just a strict 1 or 2. I think he plays either guard spot and another triple.
3 threes in a row, Coach, for the Maroons.
I don't know. You know, Franklin came out with some fire, but Wythe put that out real quick. And if it's number 4,
it is.
Trayvon Rainey wanted to get in on the action. We've got a timeout on the court. 4 threes in a row on consecutive trips, and the lead has ballooned to 44. It's a full timeout. We'll take it with them. You're watching championship basketball on the NFHS Network. 66-22. We jokingly said at halftime, do you think George Wythe maybe tuned into the Marshall game and maybe had thought about going for that 107 to top the all-time record? And I mean, right now, guys, they got 66 points. We still got 4.5 minutes to go in this third quarter.
The only thing that hurts them is the running clock that'll come in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and
not if they keep shooting threes.
Yeah, they would have. Well, you know, they had 54 at half.
Yeah.
So if they play the same game, that's 108. I mean, they could at the pace, but I also don't think if the lead stays this big, they're gonna try.
Yeah, it'll slow down in that fourth quarter. Also, I think maybe it won't. I mean, they say shooters shoot. Leggett 3 ball, short, rebound. Hicks fighting with Good. It'll be Huff that comes away with it.
Well, and folks thought the last 2 years it would maybe be George Wythe's time to win the state championship. They've certainly made the third time's the charm, if you will, as far as in position. They've been ranked number 1 in the state each of the last 2 years, and today they're showing why.
Unfortunately, nothing is going right for the Broncos from Franklin. That one tipped off of their own hand, trying to outlet the basketball.
Well, and sometimes, guys, you see it in the NCAA basketball tournament for men's and women's hoops. There will be a team that has that magic carpet ride, like Franklin's been on after the 2-8 start, and then they just hit a wall. And I think they've done that today. They've run up against an opponent, a buzzsaw here at the Siegel Center.
Two consecutive misses from 3, Coach, for Maroons.
You wonder when and that'll stop. Now it's 3. But the thing about it, too, Franklin, is the frustration. You can see it. Actually, you can hear it.
And not getting any rebounds. Nobody's boxing out, which was one of the keys we had coming in. They've got to be able to box out.
Over the back against Good. But, guys, that is it, now, and I don't say it to this is 5 consecutive misses from 3, but it was all in the same trip. I mean, and then to your point, the Franklin unable to get the rebound, unable to box out and get the basketball back. And it just gives GW that many more looks. And to GW's credit, I mean, The game that they're playing is a complete package.
How about this moment for Tony Dunford and David Good? You know, David Good is really, he's called him the best pure shooter he's ever coached. And the 31-point effort, the 7 threes, he made 10 consecutive shots in the state semis against Patrick Henry at Glade Spring. So, Ed, if I'm going to pick someone for a game of horse, he's my guy.
I'll tell you what, I wouldn't mind going to battle, though, with his teammate Reed Kurtner. It would be a heck of a show.
Maybe they'll do that back in Wythe for a celebration.
Hicks is going to fire from 3, no good. Rebound Maroons.
I was going to say we could put Ed Young's car on the line, Justin, for that, but Ed would say there's no way I'm getting home without it. So
nobody wants a car with 285,000 miles on it.
Here comes Grant back the other way. Nice take, will not go. Huff has it stolen away. Inside Majette for 2.
You know, it's not from a lack of effort because Franklin's given effort right out here trying to make plays. It's just Wythe spreads you out.
Huff for 3, no good. Tipped away. Back out to Rainey. Happy to slow it down. We're under 3 to go in the third quarter. Inside Kurtner for 2. And now the GW Maroons will fall back into a man-to-man, but in the half court.
And this game had to be played going through Kamari Hicks, who had 21 points in that state quarterfinal triumph over Northumberland. It hasn't today, and without him, it's hard for Franklin to really use that engine and keep the pace where they want it.
Rainey to take. Another miss from the Maroons. I think that's 7 or 8 straight threes they've missed.
Yeah, it's like a mirage to see him miss a 3.
3 ball, no good.
But it's inviting Franklin to shoot those threes, too.
Yeah.
Wythe is giving Franklin all the open threes they want. That's not really their game. They're not a three-point shooting team. It's get it to the basket, throw offense, and that's Wythe is taking them out of that game.
Huff's going to drive around right side, scoops it up and in. 70 on the board.
If someone's tuning in, they might think it's the fourth quarter. It's the third period, and they've got 70 points.
It's been a shooting barrage for George Wythe.
Rainey just pushed over Majette looking for a foul, and they blow the whistle late. Really know what that was. But wholesale substitutions here for GW.
All 5.
That might be it.
You don't usually see your starting 5 go out in the third quarter of a state championship game, but it just speaks to the level of brilliance they've shown through almost 3 full quarters.
Grant cannot come down with the shot there. Maroon's going to run. The second team.
I dare say this has been the most impressive offensive display we've seen at the state championship this week.
Delp dips under, can't get it above the rim enough. Hicks, outlet, that's going to be stolen. Zayshawn Thomas with the basketball. Blocked away by Hicks on the attempt from TJ Reddick. Mabry all the way to the hole. Will not make it.
Now, I'm just impressed, gentlemen, watching Wythe. Their energy level has been the same all game long. If they get scored on, they get the ball inbounded extremely quick. They take the first available shot. It's there. It happens to be a 3. And then they'll defend their butts off. They're not a great rebounding team. They're not flashy and dashy. They just get stuff done. And then you look at the scoreboard and you're worn out if you're going against them.
But isn't a lot of that preparation and game plan? Tony Dunford's done a heck of a job. This program's been knocking on the door. They get to this game and you can see they've hit all the things on the checklist.
Yeah, it has. I mean, it's just perfect. And again, and Franklin, though it's been a lot going against them in this game, and a lot has gone against them most of the season, they're in there. They're a little frustrated. They're still battling. They're not just walking around or complaining. It's just things aren't going their way right now. But they're here. They're here, and they're going to still try to give it another quarter.
Trapped on the outside is Reddick. Finally gets through it. Looking underneath. Layup won't go. Rebound. Maroons, no, they're fighting for it. We got a foul. Or was out of bounds. Just under 20 seconds left in this third quarter. Leggett brings it up for the Broncos. Final 10. Now under 5. Leggett's going to fire from Steph Curry range and come up well short. 3 quarters are in the books, and the Maroons from George Wythe High School are 8 minutes away from a state championship for their boys team, just like their girls had earlier. 70-24. We'll take a break and be back with more on the NFHS Network right after this. 8 minutes away. Coach, a 46-point advantage. And we had it happen earlier yesterday, but Coach talked about it, a running clock over 30-point difference to try to not speed the game up, but end it when it's that big of a gap.
Starters back in for Wythe, and same thing for Franklin.
Minus David Good, who fouled out in that third quarter.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Okay, I see what they did.
Yep. Now they have their moment.
I see what they did. They took a timeout to take all starting 5 out, 2 seconds in the fourth quarter, and bring in the players behind them. Good gesture by Tony Buffalo.
Gives the fans an opportunity. Gives the fans an opportunity to acknowledge the seniors, the starters on this team. Allows them the opportunity to get on the court one more chance, and then you're able to walk off. And compliments to Coach Dunford. You got a 46-point lead. You understand the game of basketball. You understand where you're at. There's no reason to keep your foot on the gas pedal if you're George Wythe. Now you got your young guns, so let them play.
Right, and it's a running clock, so people say, well, what if Franklin comes back? Well, I don't know how they're going to do one in 7 minutes what they couldn't do for 3 quarters.
Tapped away, nice poke of the ball from TJ Reddick, and he'll go in for 2.
The subs want to get in on the party too. They want to be involved in the act here and have some fun. And regardless of what the score is in the state championship, this is what kids dream of. You're a starter, you're a sub, to play on this floor. It's the final game of the season.
Turner gets fouled by Reddick. He'll go to the line for 2. Well, like you said, you get the guys who spent the time. They've put in the effort, the blood, the sweat, the tears with this program. Now they get a chance, almost a full quarter to play. So why not? Let them go out there, let them play. Maybe with 30 seconds to go, Reddick doesn't finish that.
Yeah, you got to give the kids an opportunity. You got the big lead playing. There's still a couple other guys haven't played a whole lot. They got a chance to get in too.
72-26 the score. As we approach 7 minutes. Again, the running clock, the only time it stops is during free throws. Other than that, it'll be running. Maroons with the basketball. Braxton Reddick. Micah Braxton Reddick, a 6'5 senior, getting some playing time. Here for Coach Dunford. Maroons, one championship on the boys' side, 2008. Were runners-up 2 years ago in 2023.
Someone got technical.
On 11? Oh, I don't know what he said. That was Zayshawn Thomas who was teed up there. I didn't see what was going on underneath because it was quick.
Well, I've been watching number 11 for George Wythe, Zayshawn Thomas, and number 5, I'll tell you if it's Turner for Franklin, have been jawing at each other. And apparently the referee heard one.
And now he's going over to tell them to pretty much knock it off, which is what you want officials to do. Don't let this escalate. There's no need for it to in a 46-point game.
And Thomas is going to check out. Delp was going to check in.
Well, it's an embarrassing situation for Franklin. This is not indicative of them, their character, nothing. And it's people look out of here and say, well, geez, 26 points, how'd they get here? Well, they're here. Don't worry about how they got here. They're here. They deserve to be here.
The other thing that sometimes people tend to forget or try to ignore, we're dealing with 15, 16, 17-year-old young men.
It's a lot of pride.
And there's pride. There's youthful, the youthfulness of it all. And things happen.
And you got Wythe excited. They're feeling great. They're on the verge of getting a title. Their guys are out here playing hard.
Delp got blocked there. They're going to call the foul against Demorion Smith. But Delp was looking to pass. He was looking for one of his teammates. He'll go to the line to shoot two. Just under 6 minutes to go in this one. We will have trophy presentation, award medals as well before we sign off from the early session. The late session tonight, fellas, we'll start with the Class 4 girls, and then we'll wrap up with the Class 4 boys. Should be a good evening of basketball here on a Friday, leading us into Championship Saturday tomorrow.
Yeah, you've got a Heritage of Leesburg with a record of 24-3, taking on Salem, who's 27-2. And then the nightcap, it's an all 804 area code Richmond teams in a rematch from the Region 4B Championship. The Atlee Raiders with Raleigh Axel coaching his son Knox Axel, who will be going to Christopher Newport University, 25-1. Verona Blue Devils, 19-4, and they've been here before under Coach Kenneth Boom Randolph. Last year lost in the state semis, in fact. Verona did.
Free throws are good there. 74-26 now the score. Grant with a good look from three, no good off the rim. Rebound inside, Hicks, and he'll lay it in for two.
Really hope Kamari Hicks, if he hopes to and desires to in his heart, play college basketball somewhere, finds a good home from the next level because he's got some talent.
Turner's going to get called for the foul. Great aggressive play there from Turner. Just got a little too aggressive there at the end.
Yeah, they're banging.
And I would say, I give the official credit because the official who ultimately called the foul, that Turner will foul out in this one. They kind of let him play down there a little bit, Coach, to try to see what happened there, but then a little too much there at the end of it. Had to call the foul.
You got a situation of joyous on one side emotion, and on the other side, not so joyous, frustration emotion. That's not a good mix, especially when bodies collide.
Well, this is the final game for Altavis, Turner, Franklin. They have a number of seniors on this squad. In fact, I think it's a total of 6. And it's good to see the fans still come out here and support them in spite of the score, the margin, what it is. A lot of folks traveled a good long while to get here, including Lamar Barrett, our good friend Ed. We know him from the Tywood area. He's a Franklin High alum, NBA scout now. He made a trip up here after being at the SEC tournament last night to see this game in person.
Yep, I remember Lamar when he was a player at Franklin.
Grant, hard take for two. He'll go to the line after getting fouled. 74-30 our score, just over 4 minutes to go in this one. Free throw good. Trying to pressure defensively are the Broncos. Delp with the basketball, kicking inside. It's going to be stolen away by Smith. Ahead to Majette. Bodies collide and fall. And we got a foul on the play. I believe that was against Reddick, excuse me.
You can almost pick him. The guy that got sandwiched inside, either guy, you could pick the number on that one.
Mabry with the basketball, hands it back to Grant. Grant takes it all the way. Nice, nifty move. Can't finish. Hicks with the basketball, down, back up, and he'll make for 2. Timeout on the court. And it'll be a full timeout here for the Broncos. We'll take one more with them. 74-33 our score, just over 3 minutes left in the Class 1 Boys Championship. 3:20 left in this one, 74-33. The George Wythe Maroons are going to pull the double here this morning. I keep saying this morning. That's tomorrow. This afternoon, as the girls won the Class 1 championship, the boys are going to hoist the Class 1 trophy as well. Dual trophies going in the case, and this Wytheville community supporting the Maroons out in force. They're going to have a wonderful weekend down in Wytheville.
Hey, we'll have to get our crack staff to find out which the last school to win, boys and girls, same year.
I knew he was going to ask that question. I want to say, I think, was it Lake Taylor maybe, or it could have been Gate Cities. It's happened relatively recently. I think. Uh-oh.
Nice hard take, blocked away. Good job, Stan, defensively. Up and in, count it. Now, there's not a 15 on the GW roster. I'm going to go with 55 because he has the only one that's not been in the game, but it's Marcus Lagans. They got to hit. He's wearing 15. He's wearing 15 in the team picture, but they don't have 15 listed in the program. So I'm going to go with it's a typo, and he's meant to be 15.
55. Okay.
Hicks with the rebound. Out to Grant for 3 in the corner. No good. Reddick with the basketball. Out to Leggins. Took the extra step. And Delp will check out for his final time. Rex Delp, 6'3", senior, checks out, gets a hug from the staff. Congratulatory remarks as well as we go under 2 minutes left in this one. 3-ball, foul on the outside. Leggett let it fly, and they're going to get Braxton Reddick on the foul.
Number 14, Michael Braxton.
No, guys, I forgot earlier in the half when assistant coach for Franklin got the technical, Coach Cutchin remained standing coaching. They reminded him at halftime, you have to sit. That technical on your assistant is attributed to you. And I know he wasn't real happy with that. Robbie's an active guy on those sidelines. Now he had to sit. You know, some people might be wondering, well, why was Coach up and moving? All of a sudden he's sitting down. Is it because the team is losing? No. A foul on the assistant coach goes towards the head coach. That means he has to sit the rest of the game coaching.
Another thing they might be wondering about too, Ed, is that the clock has stopped except for on free throws here in the fourth quarter. So you'll see it running at times, but
yeah, apparently it runs continuous on a 30-point deficit except for free throws. They don't want the game to end on free throws.
Correct. Ahmad McNeil checks in, a 5'11 senior, checks in for the Broncos here as Travis Mabry checks out.
Teaching moment for Coach Cutchins. He had a long talk there with Travis Mabry, a senior 5'8 guard. He knows they don't get to this point without all of his seniors and what they've done for this program. Beat one of their rivals in the Tri-Rivers District, Brunswick, 3 times this year. Got a chance to chat with Chireco Walker earlier. He likes his team for next year, but that Tri-Rivers District's got some sneaky good teams with Greensville and Brunswick. You're familiar with it, Ed. They've got some teams that have been competitive year after year, and you think back to Brunswick's great years with Bryant Stith at the helm before he got to coaching college ball.
And we're waiting here for George Wythe, who only has 4 players on the floor. Somebody's not in the game.
We'll put back in Shane Huff.
Yeah,
There was
somebody hurt.
Either hurt or something with the fouls because he left the court. A little bit of confusion here, but. And now we'll go to the line, I believe, and shoot free throws. Into the ball game, Jaden Reed, a 5'10 junior for Franklin. Checking out is Kamari Hicks.
Real long embrace right here with him and Coach Hutchins. He knows he's an all-state guy, what he's done all year long for them. Went from a relatively unknown role player a couple years ago to really worked himself into a top-level player in Class 1 hoops this year.
Now Jaden Reed gets to officially check in.
Yeah, on free throw shooting when there's 2 foul shots, you cannot sub until after the first foul shot.
Second one is good. Kamarsh Fleetwood checks in as well, a junior. Big embrace on the far side for Christian Grant, another senior here for the Broncos and Coach Cutchins. Nice move by Reddick. Kick it outside. 2-pointer no good. Rebound goes to the Broncos. Final 90 seconds here. Pressure being stepped up by the Maroons. Reddick leading the charge. Over to Majette. He's going to get fouled, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2. So with just over a minute to go in this one again, we will stay on through the entirety of the medal and trophy presentation. Wrap it up with a bow, and then we get to take a break, find ourselves a nice spot to sit and relax until the late games we talked about. Class 4 tonight, then tomorrow, 4 more games. We'll start at 11 and 1 for the Class 3 games, and then we'll go 4:30 and 6:30 for the Class 6 games. Girls before boys. 4 more titles. This is the midpoint. The conclusion of this one. We've handed out 6 and have 6 left to go.
Yeah, you got the Class 3 girls with Laura Bonaton and undefeated James Monroe. Class 3 boys with Hopewell against Spotswood. And then your Class 6 girls, a good one with Manchester, defending champ against Osborne Park. And then the Class 6 boys finale, defending champ South Lakes against CG Woodson.
Yeah, a couple more teams in that Class 6 trying to defend their titles.
Yeah.
There'll be the late foul for Majette.
And always a good storyline, guys, too, when you have a couple of teams trying to get the undefeated season complete, like James Monroe girls are looking to do. Princess Anne girls achieved that on Thursday. There's also that hunger for somebody to knock off an undefeated team, too, in the title round, right?
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Yeah, we got some more really good games coming up. The matchups are pretty strong. There's going to be some really good-looking athletes coming up.
First free throw is good there for Reddick.
We're still waiting for that first overtime game, which I know you have declared we will get one. It's a guarantee.
I feel there will be an overtime. I predicted 2, and have been wrong already.
Well, we came close with the Green Run Albemarle game, and it generally is the last game of the tournament, as Helene Shane, our awesome producer, usually always gives me the evil eyes when I say that.
Take inside, rebound by the Maroons, and we'll see if they aren't happy to just get it across half court and stand still. All the subs, I think both teams have emptied their respective benches in this one. Everybody's name is in the scorebook as far as playing, and they will dribble out the final few seconds here. Will the George Wythe Maroons, as you see it counting down there. And they will be your 2025 Class 1 state champions, the George Wythe Maroons. 77-38, completely dominant victory over the Franklin Broncos. A fantastic season for the Broncos, but it's the Maroons who will host the hardware, just like their respective counterparts on the girls' side. 2 titles, traveling back down 81 to Wytheville.
Just the second state title in program history and first since 2008. They did an excellent job from the very beginning of this game. And soup to nuts, they were the better team and the best team all year long in Class 1 basketball. There were certainly some threats. This Franklin team got hot. Patrick Henry, Glade Spring, they had the Twin Towers. They saw them in the state semifinals. But all year long, you felt like it was finally time for Tony Dunford and his Maroons. And they get some hardware to go back with the ladies to Wytheville.
They absolutely do. As you see, the two teams through the handshake line there is, again, our final score here, 77-38 in this one, and it was all Maroons. And Coach, it started from the jump. I mean, they hit 6 threes in the first quarter, and they just didn't miss until it didn't matter.
It was a barrage. And the floodgates, well, whatever saying you want to put in there, came down, hit the threes. Defense was on point. They caught Franklin backpedaling a little bit. Franklin took a long time to get into their game, which I'm not even sure they totally got into it. So, I mean, George Wythe got the start. You always hope your team would get, especially on this big stage. They did it.
Yeah, it's one of those. It was one of the hottest starts we've seen this weekend. You know, game number 6, and they come out firing on all cylinders. And hang 77. You said it, Matt, at the top of the broadcast. They wanted to get into the 60s and the 70s, and Franklin wanted to keep it a low-scoring game, and they just couldn't from the initial onslaught with the 3-point barrage.
Followed the game plan to a T and never deviated.
Step aside and allow the PA announcer to take over for your award medals and hardware. We'll be back in just a second right here on the NFHS Network.
Today's awards will be presented by Paul Jackson, Lead Administrator, Mary Gamble, Athletic Director of Franklin County High School, along with Dr. Tamika Ricks, Assistant Superintendent, Dr. Carlton Carter, Superintendent of Franklin City Public Schools. Also, we have Kimberly Engel, Principal, Doug Campbell, Athletic Director, and Jason Morris, Assistant Principal of George Wythe High School, along with Dr. D. Wesley Bull, Superintendent of Wythe County Public Schools. First, the runner-up medals to the players from Franklin High School. Number 0, Jaden Reed. Number 2, Travis Mabry. Number 3, Davion Carson. Number 4, Kristen Grant. Number 5, Alfredas Turner. Number 10, Noah Perry. Number 11, Demarion Smith. Number 12, L.J. Leggett. Number 21, Harris Chapel. Number 23, Omari Hicks. Number 24, Ahmad McNeil. And number 25, Amari Schlichfield. To the Broncos of Franklin High School. Congratulations to the Franklin Broncos on a tremendous season. And now, with a record of 27-4 from Whitfield, Virginia, your 2025 VHSL Class 1A Boys Basketball Champions, the Maroons of George Wythe High School. Number 0, Rex Dell. Number 1, Trayvon Rainey. Number 2, Shannon Cox. Number 3, Raymond Rainey. Number 4, Reed Kirkman. Number 5, Holden Russell. Number 10, David Good. Number 11, Sean Thomas. Number 12, Hayden Beeman. Number 14, Michael Braxton. Number 15, DJ Reddick. And number 21, Hayden Irby. And now the presentation of the championship trophy to the Maroons of George Wythe High School. Congratulations to those teams on their accomplishments this season, and thank you for your support of the VHSL program.
There you have it. Complete domination start to finish. The George Wythe Maroons carrying home the 2025 Class 1 Boys Basketball State Championship with the convincing and dominant 77-38 victory over the Franklin Broncos. For Matt Hatfield, Coach Ed Young, and Ryan DeGurda on our camera, we appreciate you watching and spending your Friday afternoon with us right here on the NFHS Network. We'll take a break. 6 o'clock tip. Class 4 Girls Basketball Championship, Salem versus Heritage. 2 more games today. You've been watching the VHSL Basketball Championships on the NFHS Network. Good night.